Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Alba Mar, me pueden decir Alba. El canal se llama Serial, estamos aquí para hablar de libros, algunos de ellos en español desde Puerto Rico. Hello, my name is Alba. My name is Alba Mar. You may call me Alba. The channel name is Seriela. We're here to talk about books and some of them in Spanish from Puerto Rico. And I'm going to see how fast we can do this. Quick, chatty check-in. It's hilarious. I'm still laughing my head off that the longer I'm off Booktube, the higher the subscription count. Yeah. So let me get back on because my goal is not to have a lot of subscribers. No. And I said that from my very first newbie video. So what's been going on? A lot of Booktube Prize reading for nonfiction. I've got 3 books down already and starting on my 4th book, and I think I'll be done before the end of May. This is going to be rough. This is going to be so tough because from what I'm gathering, all of the books are strong contenders. So, but what else has been going on? My sleep patterns have been all over the place. I can get up at 1:30 in the morning, and since I can't get back to sleep, I'll just keep on going. The advantage is that it's so hot in Puerto Rico. As a matter of fact, if I keep on perspiring, I might put on my headband. It's so hot in Puerto Rico that I now am thoroughly convinced of the wisdom of la siesta. Yeah, because there is no way of getting any kind of productive work done at the hottest part of the day, which is like from 12 noon until the sun goes down. Yeah. So if I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning, I'll just keep on going because it's nice and cool and fresh at that time of the day. And that's when I can get some of my reading done. And I've been continuing with, as I said, my Booktube Prize books, but also with John Adams, the John Adams buddy read that I have with Faith on Faith and Books, and I will link that down below. Yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot, admiring John Adams and his workload. He had a tremendous amount of work at that at Congress at that time. But I'm falling in love with Abigail. Abigail is for me that's why I'm reading the book, to find out more about Abigail Adams, because to me she's just one of a kind. Anyway, and I'm also continuing with Don Quixote, and Don Quixote has had me down a very particular rabbit hole. I got to a part in which they mentioned gaita zamoranas. Gaitas. What did I know from gaitas? And gaitas are bagpipes. I didn't know bagpipes were a thing in Spain. So went down the YouTube rabbit hole and have a whole playlist of Spanish bagpipe music. And there is the Renaissance version and also modern bagpipe music. And I will link a couple of those videos down below so you can have a glimpse of this beautiful music that I did not know existed. So that now when I read Don Quixote, I put on different gaitas from around Spain so that I can focus on the reading And another thing that I'm loving about this part 2 of Don Quixote is that I recognize so many of our sayings in Spanish from that time in Spain. It is absolutely mind-boggling. Let's continue with the chat. A chatty quickie. I have most of my Booktube Prize books on Kindle, on the phone, and on the laptop. I'm learning, and I'm going to need help from you. I'm going to ask you for your help on reading nonfiction on the Kindle, because I find that I take more notes, handwritten notes, and I find that like slows me down, first of all, as I read, and sort of defeats the purpose. So are there any digital tricks that you use when reading nonfiction on a Kindle? Because when I read my old-fashioned books, I will annotate in the margins and also tab, passages that I want to refer to. And it's so easy to refer to when I need to make a comment, for example, here on common sense that I wanted to talk to Faith about. It's so easy to access, and I find that it's harder for me to access information digitally. So, I don't know. That's just me. I'm switching out my maybe mid-rush nonfiction because I noticed that the font, people talk about the difficulty with the fonts, yes. Look at that font for Karen Armstrong's Islam. And I looked through the other Karen Armstrong books that I have. I have at least 2 more nonfiction Karen Armstrong books that I will read, but I would need to read them with my handy dandy magnifying glass, right? Very early in the morning, because I can't do that in the evening. My eyesight won't allow me to. So I will switch it out for something from Puerto Rico, nonfiction on religion history. Protestantismo y Política en Puerto Rico de 1898 a 1930. Protestantism and Politics in Puerto Rico from 1898 to 1930. This will be a reread for me. My beloved professor, Samuel Silva Gotay, who's a theologian, a Baptist theologian, as a matter of fact, in Puerto Rico, a professor at the university when I studied there. And this is a fantastic read. And I want to reread it again. Yeah, that's going to be my one of my Puerto Rican reads this month. I have a schedule now. For the Booktube Prize, I had to make out a schedule. Yeah, doesn't matter what time I get up in the morning, I start reading. Coffee and reading. But then I made out the rest of the schedule based on my work schedule when I was a teacher, and I'm basically reading from 9 to 5. 9 to 5, reading, lunch break, breakfast, lunch, maybe a snack for dinner. And the rest of the day is for me either streaming a K-drama, yes, or my recreational, personal reading for me. And that's working out pretty well, having that structure of a schedule going on, 9 to 5. Another thing I'm doing, because, during the afternoon, if I'm not too exhausted from the heat and not taking a siesta, to avoid falling asleep, I have started listening to music. I blast music on. I blast the music on while I'm reading digitally. Yes, that's what I have to do. Excuse me. It's hot. 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not even 6 o'clock in the morning yet, and it's hot. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm blasting music in my ears so that I can stay awake. And not just instrumental music, music with words. And it's helping me to focus on my reading. I'm trying not to listen to the words, but focusing on my reading. Yeah. That's been helping me out a little bit. I don't know how, but it does. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Don't forget to let me know if you have any tricks for reading digitally. And also, I want to excuse myself for not giving out the correct information for Maybe Midrash. I will include the 3 hosts for Maybe Midrash down in the show notes down below. And you can find out all the information for Maybe Midrash down there. And I will include also the links to Tome Topple, which is taking place right now. And this will be my selection for Tome Topple, which are books that are over 500 pages long. So that'll be all for today. I'm out of time before my phone shuts me off. Take care, everybody. Keep on reading. Adiós, mi gente. Sigan leyendo. Los quiero mucho. Adiós.